I want to invite Shruti at Takeda or our dynamic duo from Sanofi to jump in there. Thank you, Hooman. Jump in there with some added color or perspective.
Yeah, I'm Shruti, everyone. Happy New Year. Thanks, Matt, for having us here. I agree with Hooman. The digital twins are a fairly complicated system or piece of technology. The one thing I would like to add is that the correlation or the dependence or interaction of mechanistic models and digital twins sort of depend on the use case that you're developing the digital twin for. Obviously, the mechanistic models are based off of biology, chemistry, and physics, but what you're basing the fundamental mechanistic model for, and the relationship between the mechanistic model and the complex machine learning or data-driven statistical models that develop the entire digital twin system. The balance of the two is different for different use cases, and obviously that's sort of the innovative technology that all of us bring to the table in terms of how we are developing these things as well.
Thank you, Shruti. Ramila, you want anything to add?
Yeah, sure. Happy New Year, everyone. So maybe I can add what makes a digital twin a digital twin is really the the possibility to make it current. Think about your smartwatch. Think about your Fitbit. It is following. It's personalized to you using data, right? So the digital twin, what makes a digital twin is ability to personalize it, or ability for the digital twin to mimic a certain use case. And how do you make that is using data to so to speak, personalize it, or to make that digital twin follow a particular physical system.
Yeah. I think one thing to think about here is also what we're talking about is the development phase of what a digital twin does. One thing we haven't talked, and specifically from your experience, Ramila, might also be relevant very effectively here, is that the second part of what you do with the digital twin, with the mechanistic model, is also a control, right? The essential fundamental basis or the bigger picture here is that we want to build these digital twins using both mechanistic law-based models as well as data-driven models. The end goal here is to be able to implement these in real time, to control a system or to modify a process automatically so that human in the loop is reduced, and the FTE hours to correct and correct or redirect the systems or the manufacturing process. Saying manufacturing because most of us here are in the manufacturing area, but every different area potentially has the same application, is that you want this system to be able to mimic what you as a human being or a lab scientist would do in those situations when you face them in the real life.
Thank you, Shruti. I want to, the application conversation has to be had here, right? And where I want to start with this, and I say this recognizing fully and managing our audience's expectations that neither Sanofi nor Takeda nor Pfizer are going to, get too deep in the weeds on specific programs where these technologies are being applied. However, I am hoping that each of you can share, because we have a lot of interest in application level digital twinning, right? We had a lot of interest in the registration question around, like, what are the killer apps and why get started in this? So I'm hoping each of you can tackle this question around what the catalyst was in your organizations to go down this road, to employ the four of you to get involved and develop this technology. Whether that catalyst was, optimizing pre-capital deployment, efficiencies, speeding up process development, you name it. If you can just share a little bit about, like, why you're doing what you're doing. And Shruti, since you're large on my screen, I'll start with you.
Sure. I think, again, reasonably, I can't disclose a lot about this from a company NDA standpoint. right? However, I think looking at the big picture lens of what the industry is doing in general from bioprocess and pharma development, right? All of these are relevant use cases for developing digital twins. You can use digital twins to optimize processes that you've already established. You can use digital twins to reduce process development timeframes or lead up to pipeline movement. You can use digital twins to ensure tech transfer and scale up is much more seamless and easier and much better monitored. You can do them for all sorts of optimization technologies, like early research has different applications. I think the general trend that I'm noticing, at least in the last 2 years, has been that AI has been at the top of every CEO's, every president's lips anywhere in biopharma. And to be honest, digital twins are the horizon for any kind of manufacturing facility and optimization frameworks. So I feel like there is a universal motivation for them. And I think the idea, at least within Takeda, is that if we are able to crack the technology and the way we are developing it, we want to be able to apply them to multiple different use cases across the organization rather than focus on just one specific area. We want to build the technology in one area, but we also want to start thinking about scale up and generalizable applications in different areas.
Thanks, Shruti. Yuanyuan, we haven't heard from you yet. Can you share a little bit about Sanofi's inspiration for pursuing the tech?
Yeah, thanks, Matt, and yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Yuanyuan from Sanofi. I'm from the MSAT function, so that's kind of the way often support the project that bridging from the R&D to the manufacturing. But I would say that the digital twin, the mechanistic modeling, it's actually we could apply it across the process life cycle, starting from the process design, development, and scale up and tech transfer, and also all the way, through the production, right, where we can do the process monitoring and also, even the deviation closure and all the things. So it's covered the points that you guys already mentioned there. So I think. I think this is definitely a powerful tools that everybody is looking to applying more.
Hooman, anything to add from Pfizer's perspective?
I think I'm just going to go back to your initial question, what the catalyst is, right? Yeah. I think what Shruti mentioned, Yuanyuan, and I'm hoping that Ramila would agree with me, is that it's around operational efficiency, right? The reality is that drug development takes a long time and it's expensive, right? So anything we could do that is backed by science and of course adheres to safety and efficacy of the drugs, so that it can shorten the time to market, will help patients to get access to the drugs faster, right? And that's the ultimate goal. We're here to serve patients. So digital twins is exactly targeted towards this, helping us to get to the market faster, become more effective and more efficient. So now down to the applications, Matt. So where I sit within the development space, I want to be a little more specific. So I'm hoping that audience can relate to the question here a little easier. The way we look at it, of course, it's upstream applications and downstream applications, right? And again, we're in the development space. So what can we do? What models or digital twins we can build that reduce the Ph.D. workload, reduce the need for use of raw materials, and speeds up the overall time that takes to develop a process. So it can be an upstream application and downstream application. And then we can go one level deeper and just work on individual unit operations. Yuanyuan mentioned that there are several applications around tech transfer and a scale up. Think about a bioreactor. There's so many things going on within a bioreactor. You can start analyzing a cell culture behavior. You can look at the mixing behavior in a vessel and how you're going to scale up and replicate the behavior that you see at a smaller scale. So we can just talk about applications more in detail if you want, Matt, but it very much depends on the problem statement, right? But no matter what the problem statement is, as long as it aligns with the overall organizational strategy and goal around increasing operational efficiency, I would say that's a relevant problem statement. And then you can break it down however you just seem relevant to your organization and just pursue building that digital twin. So that's how I really personally want to look at it, with the end in sight, right? We are here to serve patients. The problem statement that I'm going to work on, the digital twin that I'm going to build, how is that going to help that a specific molecule or drug to get to the market faster?